Good morning. Today we are going to see the difference between lazy learner and eager learner classification algorithms. And we'll see one example for lazy learner classification method. So what is lazy learning and what is eager learning? So eager learning algorithms that we already seen. The examples of eager learning algorithms are decision tree induction method, naive Bayes classification method, backpropagation, etc. So what is happening in the case of eager learning is there will be a set of training tuples and we will construct a classification model before we receive say new data set or before we receive say testing tuples. That is eager learning. But in the case of a lazy learning, which is also known as instance based learning, so simply what we are doing is we'll store the training data and we'll wait until we'll get a test tuple. That is why it is known as lazy learner. So in a lazy learner method, there will be less time in training, but more time will be there in predicting. So what is happening in the case of eager learning is we are already having a set of training tuples. We'll construct the model, and whenever we are receiving a testing tuple, we will test the model. Then further it will be used for the data prediction method. Now, in the case of a lazy learner method, we simply stores the training data, will not do anything until we receive say new data tuple or until we receive say test tuple. Whenever we are receiving a test tuple, we will process further for the prediction process. Related to accuracy, lazy methods effectively uses a richer hypothesis space since it uses many local linear functions to form an implicit global approximation to the target function. In the case of eager, must commit to a single hypothesis that covers the entire instance space. Now we'll see some examples of lazy learner or instance based methods. So already we studied eager learning methods. Now we will look into few lazy learner methods. So in the case of lazy learning or instance based learning, store training examples and delay the processing until a new instance must be classified. So it is called as a lazy evaluation. Typical examples of lazy learner method is K nearest neighbor approach, locally weighted regression, and case-based reasoning. So in the case of K nearest neighbor approach, instances represented as points in a Euclidean space. In the case of locally weighted regression, construct a local approximation. Case-based reasoning uses symbolic representation and knowledge-based inferences. So we look into K nearest neighbor approach, how K nearest neighbor approach is working. So K nearest neighbor approach, it is also known as KNN. K nearest neighbor algorithm is also known as KNN algorithm, which uses feature similarity to predict the values of new data points, which further means that the new data point will be assigned to a value based on how closely it matches the points in the training set. So we'll see what is that K in that KNN. K is the number of neighbors. It can be an integer. It can be any integer. So K is representing how many neighbors we are going to consider for a particular test point. Now we'll see the steps in the KNN. The first step of KNN is we must load the training as well as the test data. We first need to load the training data, then the test data. Next step is we need to choose the value of K. So the K is the how many K is represents how many neighbors we are going to consider. How many neighbors we are going to consider. K can be any integer. Now for the better prediction, we can avoid the multiples of the data prediction classes. For example, suppose like our previous example, we are having two target classes like Bayes computer is equal to yes and Bayes computer is equal to no. We are having two target classes. So In that case, we can avoid k values as the multiple of 2. Two classes means we can avoid 2, 4, 6. Then that is for the better prediction. So you can take any integer as k, but for the better prediction, we can avoid the multiples of the target number of target classes. Now I'm repeating k is we are choosing k, and k is the how many number of neighbors we are going to consider. Now step 3 is for each point in the test data, do the following. Take a test data and calculate the distance between test data and each row of training data with the help of any of the method, namely Euclidean, Manhattan or Hamming distance. The most commonly used method is Euclidean distance. So what we are doing is we are taking each test data, which data we wanted to predict, take the data and calculate the distance between the test data and all other training data. So how to calculate the distance? You can use any of the distance formula like Euclidean distance, Manhattan distance or Hamming distance, etc. And the most common one that we are using is Euclidean distance. Now, whatever the distance we are got, we are going to arrange it in the ascending order, right? Suppose in the training data, we are having 10 tuples or 10 points. In the testing data, suppose we are having one testing data. So for the testing data to all other 10 training data, we are calculating the distance using any one of this method. Now we are arranging all the distance, sort them in an ascending order. Next, we already chosen what is that k value, any integer. So next it will choose the top k rows from the sorted array. From that sorted array, we'll take the first k rows of the sorted array. Now it will assign a class to the test point based on most frequent class of these rows. So these are the steps actually in the KNN. So we'll see one example. Suppose these are the training data. So as our previous example, take it as like the blue dots are representing Bice computer is equal to S class, and the red dots are representing, suppose Bice computer is equal to no class. So this is our training data. We represented all the training data with the points. Now we are taking a testing data. So the black dot, we can consider it as a, this black dot, we can consider it as a testing data. Now we wanted to predict this black dot, this testing data is coming under which class, whether it is coming in the Bice computer is equal to S class, or whether it is coming under Bice computer is equal to no class, that we are going to predict actually. So according to the first step, we represented all the training data and testing data. Now we are going to choose any k value. So k can be any integer, and we told one more assumption, like we can avoid the multiples of the number of target classes. So here actually the target classes, one is S class and another one is no class. Two classes are there, so you can avoid the multiples of the classes to multiples of the classes as the k value. So here it is taken, suppose for example k is equal to 3. So k is equal to 3 means we are going to consider only 3 neighbors. What are the 3 neighbors? 3 nearest neighbors. So the second step is we are going to calculate the distance between the test point and the training point. So we'll calculate the distance between this point to this one, this point to this one, again this testing point to this one, again this one, like this. This class also, this point to this point, this point to this point, this point to this point, like this. All the points we are calculating the distance. We can use Euclidean distance formula to calculate the distance. Now arrange the distances in ascending order. Now we can we can take the top 3. Top 3 will, since k is equal to 3, we can take the top 3. When I'm taking the top 3, this it is represented in the circle. So you can see that from this point, the nearest top 3 neighbors are this one, this particular point, and this particular point. So among these, the number of neighbors is more in this class, in the red dot class. Okay, the number of neighbors here it is in from this class is 2, from this class is 1. So which class is having more number of neighbors? This red dot class is having more number of neighbors. So we'll assume that this black dot is also belongs to this particular red class. That is actually KNN, K nearest neighbor algorithm. So I'll explain once again with the example. So the K nearest neighbor algorithm, the first step is we are taking all the training data and the testing data and we are representing. So for example, I can take this as class 1, this as class 2. Maybe class 1 is equal to Bytes computer is equal to S and class 2 is equal to Bytes computer is equal to no. Now this black dot is representing the test data. Now next step is we need to calculate the distance of this particular point from all other points. So we can make use of Euclidean distance formula or any other distance formula. Now once you are getting the distance, you can arrange all the distance in an ascending order. After that, assume the value of k is equal to 3. If I'm taking k is equal to 3, I'm taking the first three values, the distance. If I'm taking the first three values, I'll get these 3 points. These are the nearest points of this particular black dot. So among these 3, more number of points are coming from this class. So I can take this class as I can take this class and I can assume that this black dot is also coming in this particular class, because here among the blue dot only one neighbor is there. So which class we are getting more number of neighbors, our test data will be there in that particular class. Now why we are telling that better to avoid the multiples of the classes means, suppose I'm taking k is equal to 2, there is a chance that one neighbor is coming in this class and another neighbor is coming in this particular class. So what is happening is both the classes having equal priority, equal probability. So I cannot predict that which class this particular dot is coming. Now you can take k is equal to 5. If I'm taking k is equal to 5, maybe the next neighbor can be this one and another neighbor can be this point and third neighbor can be this point. So among, if it is equal to 5, this these two will come, this dot will come, this dot will come. So that time 3 points, 3 neighbors I'll get from the red dot and 2 neighbors I'll get from the blue dot, right? So that time also I can predict like this more number of neighbors are coming in this particular column, in this particular class. So this black dot is belonging to this class. Okay, that is the way of doing the KNN. So as we told, it is a lazy learner method. So we can see that this is a lazy learner method because initially we are having a set of training data, right? So it is just keeping the training data and it will start the prediction process only, or it will start the classification process only if there is a test data comes, right? If this particular test data comes, then it will the KNN will do its procedure to classify this particular point. That's why it is called as a lazy learner algorithm. So in the case of eager learner algorithms, we have the training data. With this training data itself, we will create a model and make it ready. So whenever the testing data is coming, it is just going to test the data, right? And these are the steps in the KNN algorithm. Now we had seen, we are just seeing one more example in the case of in the case of lazy learner method, that is case based reasoning, CBR. Another example for lazy learner method, lazy learner classification method is case based reasoning or CBR. Now what is CBR? CBR uses database, CBR uses a database of problem solutions to solve new problems. So it stores symbolic descriptions or tuple or cases, not the points in Euclidean space. We had seen that here it is like In the case of a KNN method, each tuple we are representing with a points. But in the case of case-based reasoning, each tuples we are considering it as one cases. Each tuples we are considering it as one cases, and that the symbolic description will be there, and will store that in a particular database. So the applications of case-based reasoning is customer service, product related diagnosis, legal ruling, etc. So the methodology is instances represented by rich symbolic descriptions, search for similar cases, and multiple retrieved cases may be combined. So what actually the process is? So whatever the training data we are having, each cases, we are calling it as a cases. That cases will be stored in a database, right? And if a new case is coming, we will search in the databases like similar kind of cases are there or not. If there is similar kind of cases it is there, we will retrieve the solutions from the databases. That is what is happening. So what is there is symbolic descriptions of cases will be saved in the database, right? Then if you are getting a new case, we will search in the database whether we are having similar kind of cases. If we are having similar kind of cases, we can retrieve the solutions, or multiple retrieve the cases will be there. We can retrieve the solutions and we can classify the new case. That is what is happening in the case of a CBR. So tight coupling between case retrieval, knowledge based reasoning, and problem solving is required for the CBR. Now, what is the challenges of CBR is we need a good similarity metrics, right? Whenever a new data is coming or a new case is coming, we need to search in the database. So for that, we need a similarity metric, good similarity metric for the classification and prediction. So indexing based on syntactic similarity measure, and when failure, backtracking and adapting additional cases is required. So this is about lazy learner algorithms, where we had seen two lazy learner algorithms. One is KNN, K nearest neighbor, and another one is case based reasoning. Thank you.